very good evening, viewers. You're watching the latest edition of 6 Stories at 6, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you, getting you the biggest stories of the day that we're closely tracking on Republic TV, viewers. The first story, of course, is who has burned Nepal? Who's the mastermind behind those deadly protests that transpired for at least 48 hours and toppled the government? There is still, of course, violence that is erupting, and all eyes are on who is going to be the next chief of the interim government. We'll get you all of that. Also, story number 2 is how Delhi Police's special cell has registered a big win. It's a Khilafat module, a Pakistan-backed terror module that has been dismantled by the Delhi Police, viewers. Story number 3, it's a big story from United States, viewers. Trump ally, conservatives, and also a pro-gun individual, a pro-gun personality. He has in fact been shot dead, viewers. All that you need to know about him. And story number 4 will be the talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Mauritian counterpart in Varanasi. Key agreements have also been signed. And viewers, there was high drama in Srinagar today over the detention of Aam Aadmi Party MLA Mehraj Malik. We'll get you more on that from ground. And finally, we'll give you a closer look of Exercise Maitri, the Indo-Thailand military exercise, the joint military exercise. So we start with Nepal, viewers. We are bringing you ground reports from the country. 3 neighbors, 3 collapsed governments, and the domino of the unrest is sweeping South Asia. Republic TV is now bringing you a super exclusive from Nepal. The face of the student protest, Ashutosh Bansal, today has made a big admission, a big revelation, saying that there was infiltration. Now, viewers, you can see his visuals. He has broken his silence about the mastermind and a playbook that was in fact being carried out that matches what happened in Bangladesh. Watch this report.
Three neighbors, 3 years, and a collapse of 3 governments. We saw it in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka, and now in Nepal. Is the deep state playbook behind the bloody coup in Nepal? Ashutosh Bansal, the face of the Nepal protests, shot in the face and chest, now breaks his silence. He says what happened in Nepal looks strikingly similar to the Bangladesh playbook.
So it was like this. So this was not the, there were a lot of reasons. At first, like, corruption is going on in Nepal for years and years. So it just accumulated over the years, and it was just one of those moments where you just outburst. So what happened in recent past few months was, Nepalese people are always offended by corruption and stuff, but there was this new trend. Like, we started exposing people, and there was this new trend. I guess it was it was influenced from Indonesia, that exposing Nepo kids. Like, okay, politicians are earning black money and their children are enjoying all the perks of it. So what we did the same thing. We exposed the Nepo kids, we exposed politician kids, and that thing started to grow a lot.
Organizers used social media to mobilize the masses. There was infiltration and a mastermind behind it.
We got infiltrated by, I would say the right word would be criminals, for sure, without a doubt. Because after doing things we did, still people sent somebody, I just want to quote them as criminals, to do violent things that they were not supposed to do. So yeah, there was infiltration for sure, without a doubt. The place was fixed, the time was fixed, but the person behind it, or the mastermind behind it, I'm also unknown who did it.
And meanwhile, an uneasy calm prevails in Nepal. The army has taken over the streets. Flights have resumed. Shops and markets and restaurants have opened.
नेपाल काठमांडू में 10 बजे के बाद फिर से कर्फ्यू यहाँ पर शुरू हो गया है। चूँकि 10 बजे पहले कर्फ्यू जो है उसमें ढिलाई दी गई थी, लेकिन आप एक बार फिर देख सकते हैं कि सड़कों को यहाँ पर किस तरह से आप देख सकते हैं। यहाँ की नेपाल की जो आर्मी है वो सिचुएशंस को संभालने के लिए देखिए किस तरह से यहाँ पर कर्फ्यू लगा रही है, ताकि किसी तरह कोई दिक्कत न हो, लोग सड़कों पर ना आए। ये आप देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह से रोका गया है। देखिए जो नेपाल के जो जवान हैं, नेपाल के जो सेना के लोग हैं, वो किस तरह से अपनी ड्यूटी दे रहे हैं। तो आप देख सकते हैं कि आर्मी ने पूरे नेपाल को इस समय संभाल लिया है और यहाँ की जो स्थिति है वह अब सामान्य है। काफ़ी ठीक लग रहा है कि लोग आ जा रहे हैं।
People demand political stability and restoration of peace.
करप्शन मुक्त चाहता है, यूथ लीडर चाहिए अब हम लोगों को, जो डेवलप अच्छा करे, एजुकेशन डेवलप,
जो आगे ले जाए, जो नेपाल को करप्शन से भी
आगे ले।
अभी तक तो ठीक है, देखते हैं अब बाद में क्या। अभी तक
कर्फ्यू क्या स्टार्ट हो गया क्या?
हाँ, ये बोल रहे हैं आर्मी वाले, ये सुन रहा हूँ मैं भी
जी। आर्मी वाले यहाँ काम कर रहे हैं?
हाँ यहाँ जी, हाँ जी।
Normal life may have resumed in the country, but the questions remain. Who masterminded the uprising, and will the domino of collapse continue in South Asia?
Now we shift our focus to a big achievement, viewers, by the Delhi police. A special cell uncovered a pan-India terror module. 5 arrests have been made, and each of them operated from a different state, but they were part of one sinister plot, viewers. Ghazwa-e-Hind, hidden hands in Pakistan, a plot to destabilize India. In fact, some of them were also expert in making chemical weapons, viewers. Some were bomb experts among the 5 who have been arrested from different parts of the country, viewers. We tell you how the Delhi Police Special Cell dismantled this Pakistan-backed terror web.
A Khilafat-style terror group plotting Ghazwa-e-Hind has been busted. Their mission? Jihad, targeted killings and spreading terror across India. And today, Delhi Police Special Cell has cracked open this pan-India terror module. 5 men are now behind bars. Ashar Danish, Sufia Abu Bakr Khan, Aftab Qureshi, Huzaifa Yaman and Kamran Qureshi, the very faces of this plot. From Delhi to Jharkhand, Telangana to Mumbai and Madhya Pradesh, this network had spread its tentacles across the country. The kingpin, Ashar Danish from Ranchi, was in direct touch with a Pakistan-based handler, building this entire network brick by brick. His key associates, Sufia Abu Bakr Khan and Aftab Qureshi, were picked up from Delhi. Huzaifa Yaman was arrested from Nizamabad in Telangana and Kamran Qureshi from Rajgarh in Madhya Pradesh.
5 persons have been arrested in this module. It was a pan-India terror module. Handler was a Pak handler who was directly in touch with the central character of this group, Ashar Danish, who is from Ranchi. We can say so far what has emerged from investigation, Ashar Danish was the central figure of this group. He is quite educated. He is MA in English Honours. From him we have recovered a lot of incriminating materials which is used for making IEDs. He was directly in touch with all these characters.
From IED precursors to weapons to cartridges, huge recoveries have been made. Another sinister design from across the border neutralized. Investigators are now probing if this was just the tip of the iceberg or part of a much larger terror conspiracy.
It was a shocking sight, viewers, in Utah when Charles Kirk, a conservative American activist, an ally of US President Donald Trump, was shot dead at a university event in the state of Utah in an apparent targeted assassination. The moment was caught on camera. It showed the crowd screaming, fleeing in panic, viewers. Now, he was a staunch supporter of Donald Trump, a conservative and a controversial figure. He has justified gun violence-related deaths in 2023, and he was answering a question on gun violence, and just as he was starting to answer the question, he was shot dead in broad daylight. Here's more.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Horror on a college campus in the United States.
Counting or not?
Charlie Kirk, one of the most prominent conservative activists, shot dead in Utah.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Charlie Kirk sitting on the stool addressing the crowd at the Utah Valley University. And just as he was answering the question on mass shooting in America, a single shot rang out. He's seen recoiling and raising his hand to his neck as he falls off his chair. Kirk struck in the neck, crowd running in terror.
I'm getting out of here.
Donald Trump has blamed the radical left for Charlie Kirk's assassination.
I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country.
You guys okay? Okay, love you.
Eyewitnesses recall the moment.
Charlie Kirk talks about gang violence, and right as he finished that, he was shot in the neck. I was about 50 feet away. Again, I was more focused on wedging my way through the crowd to speak to Charlie than actually what was going on. And I did, for a brief second, see Charlie's head like slump over, and then the crowd just pushed back. It was a stampede.
Another eyewitness point out to the security lapse.
I turned to look back, because it sounded like the shot came from behind me and down into there. And then I just saw everybody starting to drop. So I dropped. I wasn't too worried because I didn't hear any more gunshots, but you never know. And then I just heard the crowd start yelling, "Run!" And so we just all got up and left. So I didn't see them apprehend the what they think is the alleged shooter. When I looked back up at the stage, when I got up, Charlie was already gone. So that's basically what I saw.
Manhunt for the killer continues as Donald Trump says it's a dark moment for America.
Over the last 10 years, counting or not?
A college talk turned into bloodbath, leaving America grappling with yet another chilling reminder of gun violence.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a day visit to Uttar Pradesh's Varanasi, and also he visited Uttarakhand today. Now, during his Varanasi visit, Prime Minister Modi met his Mauritian counterpart, Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam. The two leaders held wide-ranging talks at a bilateral meeting and exchanged several documents. Following the bilateral, Prime Minister Modi emphasized on Indo-Mauritian ties, highlighting Mauritius being an important pillar of India's neighborhood-first policy and Vision Mahasagar. This, of course, with special focus on Indian Ocean and keeping safety in the waters, in the Indian Ocean waters. Here's more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a day visit to his parliamentary constituency, Varanasi. A massive roadshow marked on his arrival, with thousands on the streets to welcome him. The visit also carries a diplomatic edge as Prime Minister Modi held crucial bilateral talks with his Mauritius counterpart.
हमारी संस्कृति और संस्कार सदियों पहले भारत से मॉरिशस पहुंचे और वहां की जीवन धारा में रच बस गए। आज हमने मॉरिशस की आवश्यकताओं और प्राथमिकताओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए एक स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक पैकेज पर निर्णय लिया है। यह इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मजबूत करेगा, रोजगार के नए अवसर पैदा करेगा और स्वास्थ्य सुविधाओं को सुदृढ़ करेगा।
Mauritius Prime Minister Naveen Chandra Ramagulam is in India, where he held bilateral talks with Prime Minister Modi. During the bilateral discussion, the two leaders reviewed the full spectrum of cooperation with particular focus on development and capacity building. They also discussed opportunities for expanding collaboration in health, education, science and technology, energy and infra. While addressing a joint press meet alongside Mauritius Prime Minister, PM Modi announced India's special economic package for Mauritius that supports infra, employment and healthcare sectors. The visit builds upon the positive momentum generated by Prime Minister Modi's visit to Mauritius in March 2025. During the visit, Prime Minister also announced India's new vision for Global South and named it Mahasagar. India and Mauritius are two nations, but the dreams and the destiny of the two are one.
And a suspected explosion rocked Jammu's Doda district today, sending shockwaves across the region. The blast, believed to have been triggered by a crude explosive, comes amid heightened tensions following the arrest of Aam Aadmi Party MLA Mehraj Malik under the Public Safety Act. Security forces clamped down with internet suspension restrictions on gatherings already in force as there were tensions today. There was high drama in Srinagar meanwhile, as well as Aam Aadmi Party's Sanjay Singh also had made several allegations. He was there to make a press conference and he scaled up the wall, as you can see in those visuals. He was scaling up the gate to meet Farooq Abdullah, the NC chief, who was standing all across, but he could not meet him. So there was high drama in Srinagar also today following Aam Aadmi Party MLA's arrest.
A suspected blast has been reported inside a premise in Doda town. Forensic teams have rushed to the spot. Preliminary reports suggest a crude explosive triggered the explosion. Internet services have been snapped and Section 144 restrictions on public gatherings have been imposed across the district. The clampdown follows the arrest of AAP MLA Mehraj Malik under the PSA, adding to the already charged atmosphere. Meanwhile, 2 people have been detained for questioning as investigations gather pace. With Doda on the edge, security agencies are leaving nothing to chance as they work to establish the full scale of the suspected blast.
The police swung into the action and the Doda police, on reaching the spot, found that there has been an explosion inside the premises in the Doda town itself that was on way to the Doda district police line in the Doda, after which the FSL teams have also been called in. The 2 of the house owners, that is identified as Javed and Khurshid, both have been detained for the questioning. What the agencies say, as per the initial investigation that they have carried out, that this was a crude explosives that were used for this explosion.
And finally, viewers, we get you about the latest from Meghalaya that has now become the battleground for the Indo-Thai War Games. Well, 2 armies training as one force in Meghalaya. Here's a sneak peek into Maitri 14.
In the hills of Meghalaya, 2 armies, 2 nations training as one force. Exercise Maitri 14, India and Thailand taking their military partnership to the next level. From combat runs to live firing, from IED briefings to hostage rescue drills. This is India and Thailand's joint war game, sharpening counter-terror skills and building battlefield synergy. At Umroi in Meghalaya, India and Thailand soldiers running shoulder to shoulder, building endurance, teamwork, and trust with every step. This is combat conditioning, the first step towards interoperability, syncing 2 armies into one seamless fighting force. Then came weapons handling, The two sides exchanging tactics, techniques, and battlefield lessons. From rifles to close-quarter combat strategies, soldiers are learning to fight, the same way as a unified team. Anti-terror drills in action. Two armies practicing hostage rescue operations with their canines leading the way. Evacuating civilians, neutralizing threats, and working in perfect sync, preparing for their worst-case scenarios. The range comes alive as both armies fire side by side. Precision marksmanship, rapid-fire drills, and room clearance simulations ensuring that when the call comes, they can respond together. An important session on IEDs, Indian soldiers sharing expertise earned in years of counter-insurgency operations. From detection to safe disposal, the Thai contingent getting hands-on training on handling the deadliest battlefield threat. Exercise Maitri 14 is not just a military drill. It is a strategic handshake, strengthening defense ties and preparing for joint counter-terror operations.
All right, that's all from our side on the 6 Stories at 6. We'll be right back with the breaking news at 6:30. Don't go anywhere.